Hey everybody, Michael here. This week we're going to be diving into tech innovations and how to use tech to better manage your short-term rentals.
We're back. We're back on another podcast, baby.
Yes,
Michael, how you
sir.
doing? How you doing?
Doing good.
All right, I love it.
And this week we're going to be looking at hardware and software that just helps, us operate better. Things that we've seen with multiple units that just makes operations easier.
Diving into this, um, so my thoughts are technologies that revolutionize guest experience. What makes things easier for the guest? Easy check-in. You know how some hotels have those card check-ins? Our Airbnbs have code check-ins. We automate a special code for the guest, makes it more convenient than a key or a traditional key with a lock box. Literally just press a code, boom, easy,
And
convenient.
usually we will have the guest phone number. So for simplicity for the guests, we will make it the last four digits of the phone number so that it's easy for them to remember, unique to them, and so on.
Yeah, that's one of them. What else would be pretty convenient and create a good guest experience for an Airbnb?
So I would say something that we've seen is smart thermostats is something that we've worked with and see that it helps manage costs on the operator side, but then also on the guest side, you can have like an average of like in the Midwest, we have some properties in the winter just set at 70. So then if somebody wants, they could go a little higher, a little lower, but then that's just the average. So then the costs aren't too high, and you could kind of have that schedule in place. And what the thing that we do is if somebody's like, hey, could you have it a little hotter or a little cooler, we could do that before they get there. So then the place is already at that temperature if they ask for that beforehand.
Hey, that also brings me to like the pool system in
Yeah.
uh in Florida. You know, we have the app called Pool Sync. We have temperature set whenever it's cold at 85 degrees or 80 degrees. It makes it a lot more convenient. You can preset the heat for the guests to, come to a heated pool rather than a cold one. It's just really good for guest experiences. I think also adding to that, um,
On the, I would say not guest experience side, but on the operator side,
operator too.
the ring camera is a really nice thing to have. This is like you want to have a visual component, some aspects of seeing what's going on in the property, but you want to make sure you're not looking at any part inside of the property, any place like any backyards or things like that either, because with that it can just people be like, are they looking at us? Is there a little camera over there or something? So we just make sure we disclose the cameras if there is any on the property, and that is the main thing is just for the operator to look back at history if there's any issues, if somebody had something happen to their car, we could check on the ring, things along the lines of that. What we really like about Ring is that it's not too expensive. The yearly plan is about $36 a year per property, so ends up being like $3 a month. So it's very cost effective to be able to have that history and be able to have that security in place.
Right. And then another one, this is for the operator side. It's called the Minut device. It's a sound registering decibel device. Yeah. Did I say that right? I think I did. So yeah, you can
Noise
basically
monitoring device, yeah.
noise monitoring, but without even being intrusive. You know what I mean? It registers decibels.
Audio doesn't record audio. It just
It doesn't
picks up
record.
the
Right.
noise level. Looks very
And
similar to a what are those called?
the fire. What are these
Yeah,
things called? the the
smoke
fire stat.
detectors. The
There you
smoke
go.
detectors. They look similar to that. So then guests aren't thrown off by it either. Again, picks up no audio or anything. The main thing about this is that party prevention and just now they do also have smoking, so you can see if there's a different level of what they do is they measure the oxygen in the air, and if the oxygen drops, then they can know that something is up. Really cool tech.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So yeah, that's diving into like our tech pack basically, and I think you guys, people watching these videos, ready to start like an Airbnb or just new to this stuff, I think starting off with that tech pack right there is very key and essential. It makes your life easier. It makes the guests' life a bit easier. You know, those things just revolutionize the guest experience and the operator experience as well. We matter too, they matter more, but it has to be
You want to make their experience as good as possible, but also less headaches and stuff. Makes the experience for the operators much better.
Yes,
sir.
Okay.
And then connected to those hardware and stuff, we got digital tools that go along with all of our hardware tools. But to kick it off, like the main thing that matters on with property management is having a good channel manager with good booking software and things like that. And we've touched on this last podcast. We'll just touch on it a little bit here, but we use Hospitable. With that, we are able to be on Airbnb, VRBO, Google vacation site, and also our own direct booking site. So it really allows you to be in multiple spots. I have tested a couple of other ones like Guestly and stuff like that. I haven't had the best experience because the pay per percentage as opposed to flat fee. Flat fee makes more sense for operators, and I think for the majority of people.
Yeah, it's more cost efficient for you. A little more shingles in your pocket, Yeah. It just makes more sense. And then just diving more into like the digital management side of like property management, making the operating side of Airbnb for you easier would be another platform called Mondays, just to stay organized with properties, maybe like outreach and also what else is it? Outreach
for maintenance for the
maintenance,
properties, any ongoing tasks that need to be completed. Something that we have there as well is we have our lawn care for the Midwest. It's not year round. It is a thing that happens until November-ish and then starts up again in April. So we have it on our log in November and April to check with our lawn guys, say, hey, when is the date? So just to make sure, know what's going on in the area, depending usually on the weather, but just to make sure that all our grass is good on all the properties and, we're getting those contracts out. I'd say another one that is really good is Minut, and it's the device itself. But what's key about it is that it does have an app and also a web app. The app itself is great because you can set up team responders. You can have a team, but you can have people that if the decibel level is above a certain range, let's say 80 for 20 minutes or so, it will notify the team. It'll say, hey, something's going on here. And the first, it's like, hey, it just notifies the team. Then it'll give you an alert. And then from there, you can see what you want to do. Usually we'll go ahead and remediate with the guest. We'll look at camera, like ring cameras, see if there was any footage of, people in and out, like something that isn't normal. And then with that, we'll reach out to the guest on Airbnb if it's a platform booking to make sure that we have communication there, but also give them a call, be like, hey, we're getting this notification. Could you see what's going on? Could you let us know what's going on? And usually with that, we get that resolved. If not, sometimes we'll get an additional notification from Minut saying like, hey, noise is still going on. And then with that, we will either show up or go about, either having the guest exit the property because they've broken the rules on either quiet hours or, having a get together that we don't allow or something along the lines of that. So what's really key about that is if you're going to use Minut and have it, you got to have people that are available to, see that, the team response, get the response from Minut and then act on that response. Because if not, you're just going to have a tool that, isn't doing much for you.
Exactly. Yeah, and even when those little issues arise, they could be a little nerve-wracking, but mind you, you have to be stern with these people because if not, you just get taken advantage of, and that's not cool. But
yeah, in that position, don't assume that the person is doing something wrong, but don't assume that the person is respecting your property. The person, just see how they react to, hey, we see that you're, being more noisy than you should be in the property. And then with how they react there is you can see how you should go about that.
Yeah.
Some people will be like, oh, I'm so sorry. We were like, I had some people that were being loud. They were, it was a group of 6 young girls and the mom and like 2 moms. and they were there for like a competition or something, like a dance competition. So they were
Mhm.
being loud and dancing, but they were practicing for tomorrow. You know, it was like one of
Yeah,
those
yeah,
things.
yeah.
Where they're like,
Of
I'm
course.
so sorry, but if not, it's usually somebody's doing a little soiree, a little get together. You don't want that to be.
An unauthorized soiree,
Yeah,
which sucks. You'll
yeah,
get those, but I mean, preventative measures. I mean, we've touched base on some of that on like the last podcast, what you can do. But you know, it all comes with it. Just be patient.
yeah.
Don't automatically assume. Try and figure out what's going on. You know, just a little
And
advice.
most of our properties are bigger properties. So something to note is you'll get the email from whoever books, but then you won't get the email from like the other people that stay there, or a way to contact those people, right? So that's where Stayfi comes in. It's an access point that gets connected to the router, and with that Stayfi, you're able to grab everybody's email, very similar to a splash page done on like an airport or a hotel. They've had to log in, and it just asks for your name and your email, and you just accept terms and conditions and get connected. So that's something that we've really been focused on this past year, getting it set up and going, getting those emails, seeing how we can get people from Airbnb, VRBO into our direct booking site, as in anybody that has stayed with us that had a good experience. Let's have them, if they're going to stay with us again, let's just have them rebook through our site as opposed to through Airbnb and have the additional fees that,
Of course.
doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then expand a little on those access on the extenders in relation to Stayfi.
The Wi-Fi access port,
The Wi-Fi extenders.
the Netgear extenders.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You want me to? I can kind of dive into like a little situation that we're having at one of our properties now. So what's happening with this is Comcast. They use Comcast down there, and it's in the Keys. What's happening there is the house was built with concrete and steel, so a lot of the Wi-Fi isn't passing through all of the house. Well, mainly like the bottom part of the house. So what we plan to do, and we know will work, is the Stayfi connection. If you hook up the Stayfi connection with the Netgear Wi-Fi extenders, probably maybe a couple feet away from it or downstairs, it'll enhance the Wi-Fi, making it a little more cost efficient rather than buying another Stayfi unit or having Comcast install another router. So I think that could help a lot. And also, whoever's having the same issue with a bigger house, which a lot of you guys do, adding a Wi-Fi access port with a Wi-Fi extender would help in these situations. So it's just a little example of what's going on in our little operation here. But I think,
and on setup we had everything working right, but with more guests and just more use, we've seen that we've ran into this issue. It's just something, see how we can make it better, make sure guests don't have a bad experience while staying.
yeah, mind you, this kind of like delegates where the Wi-Fi connection is coming from. So imagine a whole bunch of people are on their iPads, their iPhones, their laptops. It's a lot for one little modem. So TVs aren't going to get Wi-Fi. I mean, you got to, figure out a way to kind of just maneuver around that. So we figured it out. Implement a Wi-Fi access port with another Wi-Fi access port so we could spread the Wi-Fi throughout the entire house, being that it could be cost efficient. Those little devices on Amazon are like 30, 40 bucks, worth it. Just grab one, plug it in, set it to the modem, you're all set. PriceLabs helps you identify a lot of things happening within the area. I think is that PriceLabs? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So we touched base on this on one of the other podcasts, I think 2 podcasts ago. So what PriceLabs can do for you in most cases. So like, let's say you have an apartment in Miami and you want to know what kind of events are happening, say Ultra, F1, something like that. You can kind of go into PriceLabs and type in a couple things and be like, hey, what's happening in Miami? They'll show F1, Ultra, and then they'll show you the prices of like what the hotels are going for, what other Airbnbs are priced at, and then you can kind of snippet some of those things there and make those prices your own. So I mean, I think that could be very, very beneficial, and that's the benefits of PriceLabs. Very, very, very good
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, and the main thing on is just like helping you find that pricing, and then just being able to push that pricing on those OTAs on your channel manager every day, 24. Every doing updates every 24 hours. That's something that we've seen Airbnb show value to, because they say, okay, somebody that's updating their pricing regularly has more of a finger on what's going on in the market than somebody that doesn't update their pricing at all, or does it once every month or so.
Right.
With that in mind, a little tip, something that I've been hearing is not only update your pricing, but also update your photo descriptions and things like that. Is things we should on a monthly basis be looking through them and just updating a couple of things, maybe even adding a photo or something, because if something changed or not. Adding the photo, I'm not sure if that adds as much value, but I've heard about changing the listing description. Is another way of showing just like active on that listing.
Right.
So all these tools are great. I'd say we've been using them for a while now. We will include some links below if you're looking to get set up. They might have some, either a free trial or something along the lines of that for you guys to get started. But if you guys have any questions on these, shoot us a message. We can help you get set up and get you going with these softwares.
Yeah, don't be afraid to message us on Instagram. We're on Instagram. You can message our personal Instagrams as well. You'll see us, Justin Cano, Michael Twain. You can also follow us on Stay Maven. We usually say this at the end, but I'm just going to reiterate it right now, just so you guys can, start looking us up. Maybe give us a follow. We'll follow back. We'll chat about it, and also subscribe to the YouTube channel. You're going to be seeing a lot more of us.
Yeah.
But anyway, going on. Let's move to section 3. I think marketing and analytics tech for maximizing visibility and revenue.
So I'd say what's key there is just understanding where are you showing up, and then also how much, like for example on Airbnb, what matters a lot is like your search impression share and your search to the reservations effectively. So understanding not all numbers are the same. So understanding what your market is, and then seeing, depending on how much supply is in the market, if there's more supply in the market, your search impression is going to be lower. If there's less supply in the market, it'll be easier to get impression share, but you might not have as much reservations. So it just depends what kind of market you're in. But understanding those metrics, and then what you can do is I just use straight Airbnb and try to see what titles are consistently on the first page. Try to understand what keywords you see consistently on the first page, and then maybe edit your title a bit to reflect that, edit your description a bit to reflect that as well. So try to emulate the success that you're seeing on that first page effectively.
Right.
And then from that, yeah, please.
No, I was going to say, adding to that, since Airbnb has updated all their stuff in the recent couple months and past year, how they created like the categories thing. If you do your research on amenities and you see what properties are doing the best because of these key things, also with the title and SEO and stuff like that. If you do your research,
and they also, you're right, they also did you can do some pricing comparisons on Airbnb. Which I've done a couple. I wouldn't say it's the best, but it's good that they're giving those tools to operators to allow you to better run your business.
It's good to grasp all that information, do your own little research and stuff, and then allocate all the information and just do it your own and crush it. So there's some key things that can happen there.
Yeah, and they're like something that I would say is key is like look through like on PriceLabs, for example. I like to look through that at least twice a week. Look through it, see what the weekend occupancy is looking like for that month, and adjust accordingly, just to make sure that you're hitting the revenue that you want to hit for that month. Or usually I'm not trying to reach for a specific revenue. It's more of understanding what occupancy is for that time and trying to see if I could hit that occupancy. And then I will hit the revenue that I should, if not a little higher, by hitting the, let's say, 60% occupancy. So I'll shoot for 60% occupancy and then try to get a little higher. Never shoot for 100% occupancy because you will leave money on the table. If you want to shoot for as much, go for 85, 90, but we try to stay in the 78 to 82% is the bread and butter of making as much as you can.
Yeah, man, don't shoot yourself in the foot by trying to obtain 100% occupancy. You also want to maximize profitability. There's a balance between it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
even the big boys, which I guess some lessons from the big boys aren't good because their net margins aren't the best, but they don't run at 100% occupancy. So they know a thing or two about that.
Do your research, man. It's key. It's key in this game. If you're not doing any research, I don't think you're doing anything right. You know?
Yes, sir.
You're just gonna shoot yourself in the butt. I said foot, but now I'm saying butt.
Shoot yourself all over. We got some questions to wrap this one up. I'll shoot off the first one over to you.
Cool.
We got a question from the audience saying, what are the most cost-effective smart home technologies for short-term rentals?
Man, honestly, the tech pack, cost-effective. You want to make sure they're good quality. It might cost you a few $100, but still, you know, Sklodge lock, green camera, Minut device, Stayfi. I want to say Stayfi because these are keys, tech pack things, cost-effective. They might run you up.
If you don't have that smart lock with one bad experience, that somebody gets locked out, that's $190 out of your pocket. So,
and mind you, if you ever come across a client that's like, no, I don't want to switch out the locks, we just switched it out, let's keep it to the key, man, trust me, you're gonna have a headache if that guest loses that key and you don't have a spare one. You're gonna have to call a locksmith at whatever time at night. It's gonna be a headache. Push for that Sklodge lock or make it mandatory. We need a Sklodge lock. We need that automated lock. So I would say cost effective. Those four things are what we use and we trust the most, because obviously there's different brands for these technologies, right? But you want quality. You want cost effective quality units at your unit, you know, to operate smoothly. Because if not, you're just also gonna shoot yourself in the toe. Oh my God, I just said shoot yourself in the toe. I'm making it funny, guys. But yeah, you get it. So yeah, okay. I think I answered that one. Cool. This one's for you, Michael, from the audience. How can property management software streamline the day-to-day running of multiple rentals?
So the main thing that I would say gets like on the day-to-day is the redundancy that you sometimes run into with having to send multiple messages of the same message, having to reply to the same question multiple times, like things like that. So I'd say what is key is having a good channel manager where you can have automated messages in place with it. What we really like to do is like have automated messages that also feel human. So you have them embedded with like a first name code, so then it will put in their first name, you know, things like that to just make it a little more personalized. Doesn't feel as much as like a computer is writing it out. And with that, you don't have to be sending out all these messages, but still gotta be available and reply to, you know, other messages that come up. But this is a great way to reduce a lot of the same stuff that happens on a daily.
Right. To differentiate yourself from the others, you know, making those automated messages human. Not saying be like, yo, what's up, dog? But be like, hey, how's it going? How's your day? Blah, blah, blah. Things like that, you know. Be yourself.
And we are testing something. I do want to share. We're testing how more familiar we should go. So right now we're still kind of, I would say, like not. I would want to go a little more friendlier on the tone that we're using, just so that it's more of feels more one-to-one as opposed to one-to-many.
Of course, make it feel like we're right in front of them, you know. We'll explore that a little more.
On next we got, so in terms of marketing tech, which platforms or tools have proven most effective for short-term rental visibility?
So yeah, jumping into that, I would think, I would believe a proper CMS, channel manager service, would be great for this. And then also tapping into like social medias, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, some of these spaces. That way they just give you, free marketing, and your exposure is a little more. You make it your own. They get to see your own personality on your own web page. They get to see you on YouTube, and things like that to make you
Use the hashtags and stuff. Yeah, be able to tap into that.
little hashtags. Damn, you see, I've been lacking on the Instagram. I gotta use those hashtags, baby.
Need that visibility.
Of course.
Yeah, no, that's all. We're seeing that Airbnb was the way of doing short-term rental, and now we're like, all right, let's use that as our marketing channel, most likely our main marketing channel. What else are we doing? We got our social media, we got our email campaign, we got, different things that we're working on to try to give exposure outside of Airbnb as well.
Mind you, direct booking could happen and make it all worthwhile.
Yeah.
So this is a question for you from the viewers. I always say readers. I don't know why I'm saying readers. But so how can hosts leverage data analytics to improve pricing strategies and occupancy rates?
So with that, you just have to, it's a seesaw equation. We've talked about it before. So managing pricing in relation to occupancy is trying to see where the occupancy should be month to month. Mm-hmm. And then based off that, you can say, all right, I should be pricing higher or lower to hit that expected occupancy is what I would usually run with. And then the main thing that you need to do is look at those 90th, 75th, 50th, and 25th percentile of your market, of your area. So then you understand where your, let's call it true floor and true roof is. So then your property should not be cheaper than 25th percentile of your market, because if not, you are operating under what your market is. Either add more things to the property or make it a smaller property and operate with 1 bedrooms as opposed to 2 bedrooms. But the main thing there is understanding where that percentile is, trying to operate as high as possible on all months, but seeing that if those slower months with lower occupancy, understand how low you can possibly go if you need to. It's good to know it as as a person, as a human inputting it, but these tools are really cool, and they do have about 7 different factors that they look into to do that daily pricing. So I'd say it's good to allow the tool to do its job and let it run some pricing, and have a manual input once or twice a week. We like to do twice a week. With that, we're having inputs on the weekdays and on the weekends on a consistent basis. And that allows us to better optimize our pricing, make sure we're hitting the occupancy that we're looking for.
Hell yeah, the secret sauce. And then if you've watched some of our YouTube channels, we share with you the secret sauce on how we price and what our pricing strategy is. You just got to pay attention, and you got to watch the full
video. Little nuggets.
Because if you're not finding those golden nuggets, baby. I'm telling you.
Hey, we're probably gonna make little verticals and take some snippets, grab some nuggets.
But yeah, that wraps it up. I think this was a good podcast. Love doing it. Yeah. Love doing it for you guys, the viewers. We're gonna be doing some more here in the coming weeks. Never know, I might go see Michael in the Carolinas, visit that boy,
Yes, sir.
Maybe I might shave my head or something. I don't know. Feeling a little crazy. Yeah. All right.
Great podcast. Looking forward to next week.
We'll see you soon, guys. Also,
Make sure you subscribe.
I said it before. Yeah, there you go.
Subscribe, follow.
On YouTube. Follow us
YouTube,
on Instagram,
the Twitter, the X, the Instagram.
Everything. You'll see us. Follow us on our personal accounts. Reach out if you have any questions for next podcast. If you need some help with some stuff, we can provide some insight. Just DM us. We're available. We got you guys. We're here for you. See you guys.